guys, and welcome to another episode of Small Talk with Tanyalee Davis. This is episode 16, I believe. As good deal. See, I am outside. It's fantastic. This will probably be the last warm day we have in the UK for at least a week. So people are taking advantage of being outside, which is great. We live in Norwich, England. For those that have been asking, Norwich is, if you look at a map of England, there's an ass part that comes over to the right, and we're right in the whole part of, But Norwich is a fine city. It is actually lovely, and it's nice not being in a big place while this is going on, a big city like London or New York where everybody's on top of each other. We live very close to each other here. The reason why we came outside is because the little rhinoceros that lives above us in our apartment was in full Jumanji mode. So I had to get outside. I just did my dance video to Shake It Up. Shake It Up. Good song. Taylor Swift. Kevin hates that song though. What else is going on? A few of my comedian pals have had the coronavirus, or suspected to have. I think some of them have been tested. Patrick Maliha up in Vancouver, Canada, longtime comedian friend of mine. I've worked with him in years, but he's a man of a million voices. He's great, so I wish him all the best. I know he's in quarantine. He has a compromised immune system. And Kate Davis, who I think is in Ontario, she just said that she's been locked up for weeks with it. And I believe Paul Sinha from The Chase has also been quite sick. But I believe he is on the mend, so we're very happy with that. And of course, if you haven't heard, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the UK, has been in the ICU. Apparently he's doing okay, but really hits home when you're the country that you live in. Their public leader is got this terrible virus. Nobody is immune. So I got some really lovely messages, and I have to tell you that they've brightened my day immensely. A few people are basically bedridden and can't do the exercise or things. That's why I'm trying to do my dance videos, because I realize some people just can't move. I mean, that's why I sit on my step stool during my videos so much, because it takes a lot of pressure off my back. Because when I do stand, I'm trying to correct my posture, that it affects my breathing, because in 2008 I had spinal surgery, and they basically filleted me like a fish. Many little people do have what's called spinal stenosis. It's when your spinal cord is being crushed by your spinal canal, and it's basically like a boa constrictor. Your spinal canal is shaped like a house, and when they do a laminectomy, they take basically the roof off the house to allow some breathing space. And in 2008, my stenosis was getting so bad that I was losing feeling in my feet and my lower legs. So they decided to do 2 separate surgeries, the first week in June and then the second week in June. I got the lower part from my butt crack to the middle of my back, and the middle of my back up to my base of my neck. So that was actually the first surgery I've ever had. And as a little person, I have dystrophic dysplasia. That is quite rare. Many of my dwarf friends and fellow DDs have had many surgeries throughout their lifetimes, and many as young children. I was very fortunate to escape that, but the stenosis was something that was unavoidable. And unfortunately, after the surgery, 12 years on, I've developed scar tissue around parts of my spine where they cut me open, which is now compressing my spine. So, you know, when I dance and keep moving, I'm trying to stay upright with my posture, but because that scar goes right up my back, it's just really tense all the time. So I don't know if anybody can relate to that. But anyway, it's important to keep moving. I've been asked if I've had any other surgeries. I have had no orthopedic surgeries. I had a hysterectomy. What was it? February 1st, 2013. I was traveling in the UK shortly after Kevin and I got back together. I went on birth control, and we went away on holidays together in Florida, and we were banging like rabbits. And I thought at one point he broke my vagina, and I was in a lot of pain down there. Anyway, cut to like a week later, I flew to the United Kingdom, and I kept saying, "Oh, Kevin, I think he broke my vagina." Anyway, I woke up one morning in Sheffield, and I had a terrible pain down in my groin area, and at the time, 12 years ago, I didn't have as many friends as I do now, and I shipped off to a gig in, Western Supermare, and I ended up staying, I was supposed to do a gig that night, and I ended up staying with the promoter and his family, who I'd never met before, and here I was in excruciating pain. They took me to the doctor. They thought I had a UTI. Then a couple hours later, when I went to go to bed, I saw that my left thigh was massive and it was red, and I remember my sister had had a blood clot in her calf many, many, many years ago, and I knew right away what it was. So they took me back to the emergency that night. Long story, but anyway, I ended up in the emergency 3 times in 24 hours, and then they diagnosed me with a blood clot. Anyway, after 2.5 months with 8 blood transfusions and hemorrhaging, it was terrible. I ended up with a hysterectomy, which was the best thing ever. I got my soggy box taken out. I highly recommend it to any women out there that's not using it. The womb without a view. So that's my story for today. I'm just blabbering outside, entertaining my neighbors that walk by, talking about my vagina. Anyway, hope you're having a good day. Being out in the sun really helps. Talking to other people, sending people messages, that's for sure. Shout out to Faith. Thank you. I really appreciate that wonderful message you sent me. It really made my day, and I hope you're shaking it off, if you can, in bed. All right, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Stay home. Stay safe.